Ladies and gentlemen, the Queen.
Queen.
Will you please remain standing, ladies and gentlemen?
Mr. Ambassador, Lord Ismay, ladies and gentlemen, before I propose this toast, I have one or two messages here which I would like to read to you. And I've been in a bit of a quandary as to quite what order to read them in. So I've arranged them in the sizes of the bits of paper they're written on. So there's no significance at all. The first one is from Mr. Saint Laurent, the Prime Minister of Canada. And he said... And he sends this telegram: "My dear Prince Philip, it gives me much pleasure to send greetings to you and to the members of the English-speaking Union assembled in London. With you I salute those whom you honor this Tuesday. Lord and Lady Ismay, respected and beloved in the United Atlantic community, they have served so well, and America's emissaries to the United Kingdom, Ambassador and Mrs. Whitney, who have dedicated themselves to serving the historic Anglo-American alliance with vigor and imagination. The English-speaking Union, meeting under the chairmanship of Your Royal Highness, is eloquent testimony to our common traditions and to our mutual objectives of freedom and justice in a world at peace. Sincerely, Dwight D. Eisenhower." Well, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, this evening, the English-speaking Union is entertaining the American ambassador and Lord and Lady Ismay. And between them, they represent so much which is important to us in these islands that their names have been coupled to a toast to the Atlantic community, although, I suppose, strictly speaking, it ought to be the North Atlantic community. Now, I'm afraid I must confess that I'm in a bit of a muddle this evening, because here am I, President of the English-speaking Union of the Commonwealth, and I find myself here in London, proposing a toast to an American and to an ex-NATO Englishman and the Atlantic community. Now, the problem is, what do I say to which, about what, and on behalf of whom? Now, one of the strange things about this, the situation of these islands, is that we are surrounded by Europeans. On the one side, they speak English, and on the other, they speak a selection of European languages. Now, it seems natural enough that people who speak a different language should have different thoughts. But it is not so easy to allow for the fact that people who speak English can possibly have, how can I put it, un-British thoughts. Someone, who I haven't discovered who, once said that the British Isles in America are divided by the same language. That may be true, but whether we like it or not, we are in fact joined by the Atlantic. 350 years ago, the only thing, in fact, that has prevented us on this side from using this great highway to our heart's content has been the difficulty in getting the necessary dollars. But I gather this evening that the Chancellor's heart has been touched, and if anybody's got £100, they now can go to America. Now, it is very right and proper that the remarkable achievements of those early pioneers should be celebrated, and we in this country have been reading of the events at Jamestown with great interest. And I'm also delighted to hear that a group of supporters of the English-speaking Union in this country have collected enough money to put up a statue to the inspiring genius and to the main driving force behind those expeditions, Sir Walter Raleigh. And I also understand that the Minister of Works has agreed to find a suitable site for it. This evening to have Mr. Whitney and Lord and Lady Ismay with us. And I'm afraid that Mrs. Whitney has been prevented from attending this dinner, but we welcome her daughter, Miss Roosevelt, in her place. Now, I don't know how Mr. Whitney was chosen for his present job, but his qualifications make it very easy for anyone proposing his help. His grandfather, John Hay, held this post 60 years ago. Mr. Whitney himself went to Oxford and fought with the United States Air Force in Europe. That he's had his eye on this. I offer the Ambassador and Mrs. Whitney a very hearty welcome to this country. Now, there is a story. General of NATO, it fell to him to convert a paper setup into a living and working organization. And he did more than that. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to rearrange this because I'd like to put the people in Lord and Lady Ismay, and I'd like to couple their names to the continued prosperity and accord of the Atlantic community. Lord and Lady Ismay. Mr. Whitney.